Hello, my name is Yutaka Watanabe, a tax accountant. Welcome to the channel. Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems. Today, I'd like to talk about tax audits of corporations, filing consumption tax refund claims. For business owners and accounting personnel, there is a latest target of the National Tax Agency that absolutely cannot be ignored. Today, we will take a deep dive into this issue, as if looking through a detective's magnifying glass. Let us uncover the reality behind the strict enforcement surrounding consumption tax refund claims. Now, let's jump right in. You may be wondering whether consumption tax refund claims are really being targeted so aggressively these days. The answer is definite yes. If you are a business owner or a finance manager, ask yourself this question: can your company's tax filings withstand the intense scrutiny of the tax authorities? It is a rather unsettling thought. In reality, the tax authorities are paying far more attention to certain types of tax returns than most people imagine. At present, the entities receiving the highest level of attention from the National Tax Agency are corporations that file consumption tax refund claims. Why has the tax authority raised its alert level so dramatically? The primary reason is the prevention of fraudulent refunds. Every year, fraudulent refund schemes involving enormous amount of money become serious social issues. The authorities have reached a point where they can no longer afford to overlook such cases. Even if your refund claims is entirely legitimate, once your company falls into this category, you should assume that you are directly in the spotlight of the tax authorities. The authorities act as powerful gatekeepers against improper outflows of public funds, maintaining an exceptionally high level of vigilance. This is not meant to frighten anyone. It is simply the reality of what is happening today. In short, extraordinary, strict examinations are being conducted to uncover fraudulent activities. These reviews are not merely a matter of casually flipping through submitted documents. The authorities actively use advanced data analysis technology to identify discrepancies in reported figures and unusual transaction patterns, almost as if they were examining them under a microscope. If even slightly suspicious data is detected, the case may immediately be selected for focused investigation. One can almost see that the authorities' determination not to overlook even the smallest loophole. This situation is perfectly illustrated by two major red flags that tax authorities are watching for with extreme attention. The first is fictitious purchases related to export transactions. The second is improper refund claims involving large-scale capital investment. These two issues are considered extremely high-risk triggers that can immediately generate alerts within the authority system. Let us take a closer look at how these schemes work. First, let us focus on fictitious purchases related to exports. Under Japan's consumption tax system, exports are generally exempt from consumption tax, allowing business to receive refund for their consumption tax paid on domestic purchase. Some individuals attempt to abuse this system. They fabricate purchases that never actually occurred and manipulate their accounting records to create the appearance of legitimate export activities. Such artificial manipulation of figure is a serious act that undermines the foundation of the tax system and naturally triggers immediate concern from the National Tax Agency. No matter how polished the documentation may appear, experienced tax auditors are highly skilled at identifying transactions that lack genuine substance. Now, let us move to the second major scheme: improper refund claims involving substantial capital investment. There is nothing wrong with a company making significant investment to support growth. In fact, such investments may legitimately qualify for consumption tax refunds. However, this is precisely why these cases receive heightened attention. The larger the investment amount, the greater the potential refund. As a result, once a company reports a substantial capital investment, its tax return is likely to undergo examination at an almost microscope level. Any improper reporting may be detected immediately. How does an actual audit proceed? First, the authorities identify potentially suspicious refund claims and narrow down their targets. They then conduct on-site audits and third-party investigation, thoroughly examining matters such as fabricated export transaction or questionable capital investment. Once evidence misconducted is discovered, enforcement actions follow swiftly. Repayment of the entire refund amount and imposition of significant penalties can result. This process has become highly systematized, leaving little room for escape once a company becomes a target. If fraud is uncovered, simply repaying the refund is far from the end of the matter. When intentional concealment or falsification is determined to have occurred, substantial additional tax carrying very high penalty rates may be imposed. In some cases, criminal prosecution may even follow. The consequence can devastate a company's cash flow and severely damage its reputation, creating a snowball effect of potentially catastrophic harm. Finally, ask yourself this question: can your company's tax filings truly withstand the National Tax Agency extremely rigorous level of examination? This is not someone else's problem. Even businesses that operate honestly may face suspicion if their supporting documentation or accounting procedures contain weakness. That is the reality today. Take this opportunity to carefully review whether your company's compliance framework is truly adequate. Maintain close communication with your tax advisor and ensure that both the accuracy of tax filings and completeness of supporting documentation are thoroughly maintained. Doing so is one of the most effective ways to protect your company. Today, I spoke about tax audit of corporations filing consumption tax refund claims. For more information about tax audit, please also visit the website of Yutaka Watanabe Tax Audit, Tax Accountant Office. I will continue sharing information related to money and taxation. Please subscribe to Tax Accountant Nabe Solves Your Money Problems.